Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I'm Roger Chen from the University of San Francisco and also the Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific, and short for USF CBSI Asia Pacific. So, Alfred, would you please, first of all, I want to thank you for supporting us to join this program. And would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Thank you, Roger. Thank you for inviting me. And this is my honor, and really it's a privilege to be here today. And thanks Heister and thanks Ty to actually have me speak today. I think the last time I actually spoke at a Heister event was maybe 22 years ago, which Heister was just founded. I think I went to a dinner in Cupertino, and I spoke at the dinner. It was very well attended, and so I have extremely fond memories, and it's been a long time, and so thankful to be back. So I was born in Hong Kong, and I was graduated from the University of San Francisco with a computer science degree. And then I went to UC Davis for my graduate studies. And then I got my master's degree from them. And then halfway through my PhD program, I quit and I went to work for Sun. I was at Sun for about just under 9 years. And I founded my own company called BEA Systems. BEA was a very successful venture. So we went public in 4 years and pivoted the company into the web space in the late 90s and reached $58 billion market cap, and eventually got to just under $2 billion in revenue and sold to Oracle for $9 billion, just under $9 billion during the financial crisis. And then I've done other companies and been very active in investing in the early stage company for the past decade plus. And so about 5 years ago, I started a firm with two other partners focusing on seed stage investment in infrastructure technology. So that's what I've been very focused on in the past few years. I'm having a grand time. This is like 2000 all over again for this AI era. So very thankful to be here. Yeah.
AI startups versus incumbents that have abundant data.
I think this is a very good point. For a corporation has a very distinct way of dealing with data, right? I used to call it an American garage. So if you've seen people when they open up the garage, it's packed with stuff inside. You often wonder, for sure, the car cannot get inside. But they're not retrieving anything from the garage either. I think that's explains how corporate data actually works. We hoarded everything because this is for compliance reasons, for fear that the data actually will be useful in some way. But we hardly ever use anything from that. I'm not saying that if you were able to take all of Salesforce's data and train it, it won't be helpful for our cost. It will be. But we also remember the error. Remember how much data the Facebook started with? Nothing. You just look at Facebook started in 2008. You look at it in just the last short 16 years, what Facebook has accumulated, 1 some billion users, and enormous amount of data is because people want to put the data in. So if there's a will, there's a way. So I think if the application is so useful, people will find a way to put their records back in it. There are tons of people who will be building interfaces. By the way, that data in Salesforce, when you subscribe to it, is owned by the user. It's not owned by Salesforce. They have a distinct advantage that they could have built inferences using this data. I'm sure they're doing it. But if there's a new application, an incumbent, that's going to be providing the level of efficiency is going to be so great, I think they can overcome the data issue. Despite my belief that data is really the most important thing at the end of the day, obviously they're in the best position to reinvent themselves. But in the event that actually if the productivity is increased so much, I think people will forego some of the historical data or do some retraining and relearning. If you look at the training itself, the ASICs all the way up is getting cheaper by the day. The competitions are all rolling in very quickly. Their claims, Intel just made a claim, their new product their chip is going to be 3 times faster than H100. I'm sure that NVIDIA will have a new thing that's going to be 10 times faster. That's all good news for us, right? Because then that means the training time is going to continue to be compressed. So the amount of data we can feed into the thing to train will take shorter time. So I'm going to bet on the new invention anytime over the legacy advantage. I tell you, I'm almost in shock. The number of companies that are being created per day. And I'm just looking at the amount of my top of the funnel, which is the most crucial part of the venture business, is how many companies are you seeing? The only way to be able to pick the gems out of, an ocean of great idea is to see as many companies as humanly possible. Right now, it's infinite. I won't be able to see them all. I would say, I think the week before last, I think we saw 82 companies in a single week. And this is a small firm. So I can only imagine how many companies Sequoia is seeing, or Andreessen is seeing, Greylock is seeing, Lightspeed is seeing, Bessemer is seeing. I think it's like enormous. This is like nothing compared to anything, by the way, my entire journey in computer science that I've ever seen. So, because we now can do things we didn't imagine is doable. So there may be people that are skeptical about AI and say this may be a fad and it's a temporary phenomenon. We have a big bubble will burst and it'll go away. It's not going to go away. The clock would never be dialed back. Now, the bubble may burst, right? Very similar to the dot-com bubble has bursted. But then you see survivors. And I don't know, I mean, maybe some of you are not old enough. I'm certainly old enough that I have customers looking at my face and say, Alfred, don't waste your time because this is JP Morgan. We never ever would do business on the web. Look what happened. So now, this time they're not saying that. They say, we definitely will be using AI. That's the thing that they will be saying. So I think, without a doubt, this is not going to stop. But the low-hanging fruit, if you're a little startup, right, you're not going to say, I'm going to build a full CRM suite to replace this huge set of software that Salesforce has or Workday have, or any of the large company have. You'll be building things where it's going to make the most impact, and people will be most interested. And you chip it away, but that's normally is how it works, right? So slowly you chip it away enough, they will die. That's how mainframe software died. It's in the beginning when people first have distributed software client server, they didn't think that was going to go away. Anyone using a mainframe animal in a dumb terminal is all gone. So everything takes longer than we think, but I'm very confident. This chipping is like I'm seeing like almost like a woodpecker. Like all I can hear in every call is packing on that wood constantly. Is packing it away pretty good. So I think this will be a very exciting time. And one other thing I didn't mention. Sometimes people ask me, so well, why do you think? I think this is actually going to be one of the questions you'll be asking me. I'm going to jump ahead, Roger, for a second. Well, why do you think BEA was successful? I said, well, I would say actually the biggest contributor was timing. If it wasn't because we had the web era and we had sufficient kind of like foresight to look at this is going to be very impactful, and we took advantage of what we had and then roll into it and pivot into it, we wouldn't be the company. We would grow revenue from $100 million to $1 billion in 6 quarters. That was not because of us. That was because there was a sucking sound in the marketplace. They want it. And I think the same thing is exactly happening. We want it. I'm already seeing applications like we have one company that's doing voice AI. They train their own model called Play. It's a remarkable software. Yeah, what they have done is now they can actually not just training the voice to replicate somebody in a call center. They can replicate, the emotion. They can read the emotion. They can read the accent and answer back in a language that's native to the person they call it. They'll be able to look in the vast context because they look up data faster than anyone and give a proper answer back to the person. They understand what customer satisfaction is. Actually, it turned out the human didn't, right? That they were supposed to know. They didn't. And they insert them into a room full of real agents, actually call center agents. And those agents could not tell that's not human. And you see 1, 2, 3, 4 replacements soon, this is all going to be replaced. What does that mean? Direct cash to bottom line. This is EBITDA, change for every one of these call centers that you make it more efficient. I don't think human needs to do those jobs. Doesn't mean that those people don't need jobs. They will find other jobs. But this is how impactful this will be. So to me, it's chipping away very, very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for watching.